Club. So again, it's a privilege to be with you, and thank you for tuning in. Good evening. Good evening to all of Ambazonia, ladies and gentlemen. The president is here, and please go ahead and hit your share button. For those of you already here on the Facebook platform, go ahead and hit your share button. Hit your share button while I prepare to bring to you a short commentary. In respect to the ploys in French Cameroon to get the funds and the chiefs. I'm sure you all have seen that. The meeting with Paul Atanganji to get the chiefs and the funds back to their palaces, back to their communities. I've got a very, very special message. I've got a very, very special message to all those funds, to all those chiefs, and to whosoever that matters in this conflict. It is very, very important. So you stay tuned. But I want to, before I get there, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all the people out there in K-Town, in Kumba, precisely. The colonial officers in that city have been trying to abort the weekly ghost town that we've had going for the entire duration of this conflict. The colonial officers went around shutting down, sealing the Kumba main market, and I think they went to Fiango market too. But we declared a 2 weeks lockdown for Kumba. That is just in case they did not unseal those shops. Getting up this morning, we have learned that majority of the shops were unsealed. However, the very faithful citizens of Kumba, residents of Kumba, they refuse to disobey Ghost Town. They refuse to disobey Ghost Town. They are in their homes observing Ghost Towns. We want to believe that when they get up in the morning to go back to their shops, those shops will be ready to walk in and to do business. So we want to thank you, the people of K-Town, the people of Kumba, for being resilient and courageous in spite of the intimidation from French Cameroon colonial officers. We have not called off the lockdown permanently because we want to make sure every single shop in Kumba is unsealed. Every single shop in Kumba must be unsealed. So we are suspending the lockdown, the 2 weeks lockdown that we announced for Kumba. Besides that, we also got a lot of messages from the people in Kumba that they need to prepare. They need to prepare. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, this interim government is here to serve you, the people. We don't just do it because we want to do it. We want to do it in collaboration with the people. And that is why, after listening to the appeals, we thought to push it ahead and give people a little more time to prepare for the lockdown. So please, you have a full 1 week. The people in the city of Kumba, you have a full 1 week to please go ahead, prepare for this lockdown, because the colonial officers in the city of Kumba must be reminded that we own the land and we decide exactly what happens in Kumba. So please, no lockdown for this week. Go ahead, do your business, take care of your business. Whatever that you need to do, go ahead, take care of that. And we will come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will come back to announce subsequently when the Kumba Ghost Town or Kumba lockdown is going to hold. So please, that is very, very important. That is very, very important. We want to appreciate all of you in Kumba, especially those traders in Kumba, the traders in Kumba, for respecting the lockdown. We are very much aware, ladies and gentlemen, that a few traders in Kumba went and bribed the colonial administrators to have their shops reopened. We are absolutely taking note of the traitors in the traitors and the enablers in Kumba Market? And should you just continue in betraying the rest of the traders in Kumba Market? We will get to you very, very soon. All right. So, no lockdown for Kumba this coming week, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We have over 700 already. And before I bring in the president, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be bringing to you a very, very short monologue, talking point on this so-called chiefs, this plot by colonial Cameroon to bring in the chiefs, to send back the chiefs into our territory, And so I would like you to stay put, please stay put, and let me bring to you the talking points. Let me bring to you the talking points. All right. So as I do that, just continue. Go ahead, hit your share button. Hit your share button as I bring to you this talking point, and I hope that all those chiefs and so-called funds and the colonial officers in La République du Cameroon get this message plain and very, very clear. Once more, I'd like to say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians. Last week, authorities of the colonial junta in La République du Cameroon held one of those unusual meetings with chiefs and funds of what they call the Southwest and Northwest, an appellation they incessantly use to refer to our two states. Paul Atanganji, Colonial Territorial Administration Minister of La République du Cameroon, in a press briefing granted after the meeting with the traditional leaders, stated that the instructions to summon the meeting with the chiefs and the funds came directly from Paul Biya, the supreme fund of the land, according to Atanganji. Atanganji said the meeting became very, very necessary because the fund of funds, Paul Biya, is disheartened with a long stay of the funds from the two zones of Ambazonia in this country, La République du Cameroon. The chiefs and the funds who took up asylum in La République du Cameroon have outlived their stay and should be ready to return to their communities. La République du Cameroon authorities promise that ample assistance in the form of military squads, ladies and gentlemen, financial and material packages of support from their government will accompany the chiefs as they return to their palaces. Atanganji was very, very clear-cut as to where the financial and material packages will come from. They're not coming from their government, because we now know it is a bankrupt government, but it is coming from the business community. It is getting ready to assist the chiefs and funds, Ambazonian funds and chiefs, resettle comfortably back in their communities, he stated. Some of the chiefs could be seen coming up to salivate the offer. They were exhilarated, expressing their enthusiasm at the idea of returning to their palaces and the package of assistance they have to receive as an incentive to go back home. As the drama plays out until when the refugee chiefs deem it safe to begin to pack back to their fondoms and chiefdoms, ladies and gentlemen, the many questions that hang On the balance, though, is, are there people still living in these chiefdoms and fiefdoms? Do people still live there? And if people still live there, why did the chiefs or the funds abandon the people and abandon the communities? And in whose custody did they leave their subjects, their own people? Who drove them out of their chiefdoms and their policies and their communities in the first place? Who made them refugees? And do not dare call them IDPs, because they are not IDPs. They are not IDPs in any way in Ambazonia. They are in French Cameroon. Inasmuch as nobody chased them out of their palaces and communities, a smooth and successful rehabilitation or return of these traditional leaders depends, ladies and gentlemen, depends entirely on appropriate and coherent answers to these questions from them. We can all confess that growing up, our traditional institutions or policies served as the safest and last places one escaped to in times of danger, when he had nowhere else to find protection. Our chiefs and funds commanded such high respect, they could not be reproached for any wrongdoing. The people looked up to them for final counsel in very difficult situations such as the one we find ourselves in this war. When chiefs were chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, government authorities did not have to endorse them. When chiefs were chiefs, the chiefs were the ones that endorsed the government, not the other way around. The people ran to their chiefs and to their funds and to their palaces. They never had to run to the government, which is why when Ambazonia set out to declare the restoration of our independence, funds and chief policies were the destinations that our people were directed to go to for festivities of the day. All over Ambazonia, we saw our people raise our national colors in carrying palm fronds from palace to palace, with some of the chiefs showing up in ecstasy, celebrating with their people the new country. So the question we raise again is, who chased out the chiefs and the funds? How did so many of them become refugees, ladies and gentlemen, in La République du Cameroon? In announcing plans to resettle the chiefs back in their communities, French Cameroon authorities tried to pass the impression, the message, that the chiefs were chased out of their palaces by somebody they could not dare to mention, which is the reason why they are promised a return with military squads having to accompany them. The interim government would like to make this exceedingly clear to La République du Cameroon authorities and powers that matter. We are not, again, the interim government is not responsible for the desertification of the chiefs of their own communities. We are not aware of any chief that was chased out of his palace or community on instructions from us or by the Ambazonian Restoration Forces. As far as this matter is concerned, we are aware, however, that there are two classes of chiefs or funds who left their communities to reside in La République du Cameroon and elsewhere. Number one, there are those who were forced to leave because their palaces were defiled and burnt down by La République du Cameroon oppressive army. And number two, those who took sides with La République du Cameroon, abandoning their subjects and their policies in the midst of genocide perpetrated by La République du Cameroon soldiers. To the best of our knowledge, the latter is the class that La République du Cameroon now wants to resettle. They are the ones benefiting from the largesse of the colonial government. They are the ones who want to return with an army to guard them, money and reconstruction agenda and reconstruction material. They are the ones that this interim government and the majority of southern Cameroonians have a problem with. Yes, we have a problem with you. They are the ones from whom many Ambazonians seek to question. Questions such as why they abandon the people. Questions such as why they choose La République du Cameroon over a free homeland, the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. These chiefs, after abandoning the people, cannot any longer, ladies and gentlemen, just walk back into the policies as they want to do now, all on their own terms. No. Before they do that, it is incumbent upon them. The time has come, and the time is now for them to tell us on whose side they stand in this liberation struggle. They need not to be told that why they left, a new country called Ambazonia was born. That if they must return, which is a good thing, they can no longer do so under the terms provided them by a foreign country called La République du Cameroon. But do so under the terms provided by the interim government of the people of Ambazonia. These chiefs must be told that Ambazonia now has an army, and that army dictates the current of affairs in the territory. Not an invading army, but the Ambazonian restoration forces. The chiefs should be told that upon return, or that should they return, two things are expected of them with immediate effect. Number one, acknowledgement or endorsement of the independence of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. And number two, a pledge of loyalty and stewardship to the leadership of the counties in which they find themselves and to the Federal Republic of Ambazonia interim government. And lastly, loyalty to the Ambazonia Army as constituted in the Ambazonia Restoration Forces. The chiefs should be ready, ladies and gentlemen, to repudiate and disclaim all ties, loyalty and stewardship to Yaoundé. Failure to properly carry out these ordinances will mean they are returning just to continue their tutelage to Yaoundé, and the interim government will not allow that to happen. Fellow Ambazonians, we did not leave our chiefs and funds. The chiefs and the funds left us, and they left us when we needed them the most. They left us while the enemy carried out a genocidal onslaught on our families, on our brothers, on our sisters, on our villages. They left us while the enemy burnt down our communities which were within their powers to protect. The chiefs and the funds, they left us once the enemy promised the money, position, and power. The funds and the chief left us to sleep and to dine with our common enemy, La République du Cameroon. While the war is hardly over, the enemy is sending them back with a message and an agenda. This is the real mission of the chiefs and funds returning to their communities, ladies and gentlemen. The mission is so La République du Cameroon can tell the rest of the world that peace is finally back in the country, back in Ambazonia. They also want to use the chiefs to carry out their reconstruction schemes. Why war? War that they declare on us rages on and on. They equally want to use the chiefs to organize and facilitate the so-called regional elections which they are anticipating. Above all, they would want to use the chiefs as spies, ladies and gentlemen, spies, informants to La République du Cameroon, particularly against our restoration forces. And these are the reasons why this interim government isn't going to give them an easy passage back into those communities. We will not allow spies and enablers, traitors, to infest our communities and pose a danger to our volunteer fighters. It will not. Again, it will not happen. Which is why before they think of returning to the people, to the communities, they must first of all tell us which side or on which side of the struggle they belong. All right, and that is my talking point, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined here today by the one and only President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. I am talking about Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako. Mr. President, it's a privilege to have you one-on-one, sir, on ABC Amba Television. Great to see you.
Thank you, Secretary Chris. Thank you, people of Ambazonia. Thank you, our formidable ABC team. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. It's great to again have you after a long time. So much has gone under the table. We are talking about the Amber War Drives. We are talking about all the killings that have taken place and continue to take place in Ambazonia. We are also talking about the ABC War Drive that is coming today. And lastly, not the least, this command to the chiefs of Ambazonia by French Cameroon to return home. So much has gone on. Let us start with this chiefs thing that French Cameroon is asking them to return to Ambazonia. I'd like to get your take on what these chiefs, on what this means to this struggle with these chiefs returning to Ambazonia.
This is either true or false. I want to assume that it is true. And if it is true, it is either of two things. People are not coming back as chiefs, they are coming back as enemy combatants. They have been sufficiently assimilated, they have been sufficiently transformed by the constant bribery scheme that is ongoing in the Republic. They have been lured into joining the enemy combatant, and some have agreed to go back to fight. When you are recruited, you have to fight. You have to go fight where the fight is going on. So that is one possibility. The other possibility I see is some may not have agreed to this, but this is a case of forceful deportation of refugees, people who come for refuge because their lives are in danger. La République, who chased them out, some of them did not go there to any government house, they went there to some family members that they know to hide themselves, and they deserve to be protected. But La République, being the savages that they are, they have decided to forcefully deport them and do a public relations stunt to convince the world that these people are doing so willingly, all of them. I know that among them there are some that were traitors, and they, as you rightly presented, and they are actually today become enemy combatants that are ready to go back there with some tools to make sure they help and enable the killers, the genocide regime of Yaoundé. And these ones who may just be trying to get some money for themselves, I saw them salivate over the promise of giving them some money. It is no surprise that some of them will end in Douala and put the money in their pocket and tell you that place is terrible. Then whatever you do to get some money out of their pockets and find your way out of Amazonia will not be a bad thing. The poorer they get, the better, because they need all the money to do the bad things that they are doing. But so I think that the government, this government or whatever, this regime of the Republic is very dangerous. How do you take people who came, who ran away and to hide because of the atrocities of your military over them, because of an ongoing war, and you take the war has not ended, the killings have increased, communities have been raised down, whole communities. In fact, they are going into, some of them are going to a forest. They call that a village. It's a forest they are going into. And then you force them to go there, and they are escorted. Those are not escorts. Those are people who are there. They are like prison guards who have to take the place where they have to stay there and die. Because La Republic also, on the other hand, are tired. They want to pay them to do something. And this, they thought they would just pay them for a while and they will crush us. Now it's not happening. And they want to take away the bill. They want to cut off the bills. They want to stop the payments and the expenditure. Just like they wasted the innocent boys of GDR, so do they want to waste these ones through a cop suicide. You know what a cop suicide? You want to die, then you make yourself, you do a stupid thing so that the police will shoot you and you die. They want to take them to their bases where they will be on the battle line and then waste them there and tell you they died. My boys killed them. So that's what they're trying to do. These people are crooked. They are untrustworthy.
Right, you are absolutely right. But besides that, we also know there is another agenda on the table, and that agenda is this agenda of so-called regional elections and reconstruction. And of course, we at the interim government have said, until this war is over and an uncontestable settlement reached, we cannot entertain anything called reconstruction. What message would you be sending to these chiefs and funds for those who go back as far as this reconstruction is concerned?
It is the same we have given them. And from the UNDP to all the enablers that have been recruited in this team, that the people who sent you, who hired you for this, don't like you, because they cannot send you a raging inferno and give you an assignment that is impossible to accomplish. When their own deals cannot even reside in those places, they want you to go there and carry on the impossible mission. So they want you to die. They want to have a reason to say they want to kill you, but they don't want you to die in their hands lest they have explanations to give. They want you to die in the war front so that you will just be one of the statistics. My warning to you is that it doesn't make sense for anybody to tell you about reconstruction. It doesn't just make sense. And because reconstruction, it comes after destruction is over. How can you say you want to be part of what is reconstructing what has been destroyed, which is being destroyed? It's nonsense. So La Republic is not looking for peace. La Republic is not looking for peace. They are looking for a return to normalcy. Because if you are looking for peace, you have to go through justice. Because the international community says we should examine the root causes of the struggle, of this liberation struggle, should sit together and examine the root causes of this conflict. So if you reject that and you are only looking for how to organize elections, which have never been successful for the past 2 years, how to send back the chiefs to the villages which have already been razed down, how to let us stop ghost town for whatever reason you call it, and negotiate for some kind of ceasefire. It means you're not trying to solve the problem. La Republic has not done one thing that is for the resolution of the problem or for an examination of the root causes of this problem. All they are trying to do is to give a semblance of normalcy so that they will tell the international community there's no problem again, while they continue on the ground to kill as many as they consider to be threats. So you are being recruited as an enemy combatant to go into any elections. Elections have been banned in the British Southern Cameroon, Sambazonia. And political parties and politicking has been banned. We are at war. In every sensible nation in the world, we don't do politics during war. War is a state of a constant emergency that needs to be resolved before politicking. So we are not in politics. All those activities have been banned. Presidential orders have been signed to that effect. So anybody who is going there preparing for a so-called regional elections or whatever, trying to help whatever they call what is a kind of resettlement, all that's supposed to come at the end of the war. You don't plant and then somebody uproot and then you come and plant again and say you are doing recovery. No. So these people are breaking the laws of the land, and I want to tell you, when you break the law, there are consequences. And don't blame us. Blame them that sent you to do and to carry out an impossible task that they themselves and their agents. They say you are auxiliaries, but you are not direct agents. Why are their SDOs and the SDOs unable to do what they are asking you to go and do on the spot? They want you to die. They want you to get killed. They want to waste you and have a reason to give to the world.
So, if I may ask you, Mr. President, what do you make of the fact that they are sending these chiefs back with an army? I mean, that's what we have been told, that they are sending the chiefs back with an army. What do you make of this? And how does, I mean, people want to know, how does the interim government handle that situation where you have the funds and the chiefs sitting in their palaces, each with an army of his own from a foreign country?
Yes, that they are coming to show us they are transformed, they are fully transformed image of not just an enabler, but of a free agent in our territory. That's why I call the enemy combatants. When you are numbered among the soldiers of a foreign country, you are an enemy combatant. They are coming with soldiers, and that is disgraceful. That makes you a puppet. A chief is secure amongst his own people. Should be. That's how it was from our history. Your greatest security is your own people. That's where you have the high security. Not some enemy soldiers come and come and surround you and say you have protection. No, that's no protection. You have your notables, you have your own security, traditional security, and the people. This is what constitutes the security of our traditional rulers. It's a joke. It's very funny. If you go anywhere in the world, it doesn't happen like that. When it happens like that, it means there is a takeover. It means the enemy has taken over their authority. They are acting now as some puppets. Well, but let them know that if these people were able to protect them, they would have not run away from the first place. They would have not run away. Instead of protecting them, they came to kill them. And so that's why they ran. So this time around, they are asking them, the the sheep to live with the snakes in the same room so that the snake will protect the sheep. And they think that that's a solution? No. They will simply kill them and tell you it happened in crossfire. Listen, anyone who is wise should be wise. Now that they want you there, you should rather run away. If they give you that money, find your way and take the next available flight out of the country. Because they want you killed. They want you killed. That's why they want to get you to a spot where if they kill you, nobody will say they killed you. They will put it on the Amber Boys that they did so. So you better find your way out, because you cannot come in your village surrounded by soldiers who are looking after you and you still consider yourself the chief of the people. No. The people are running away to the forest because of the people who are guarding you. How will you be a chief of those very people? How will they come to you to tell you their cares, their worries, their complaints? How will they come to you when you are surrounded by their killers? So that's ridiculous. So word to a wise is enough. You should know that when the enemy finish using you, and they will find a good excuse, they will say the Amber Boys killed you. That's it.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are having a very special conversation here with the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Dr. Samuel Ekome Sako, and this is also an occasion in which we launch the ABC Amber TV Draft. And as you watch, you can find the information scrolling or crawling on the bottom of your screen. These are all phone calls information, how you can call to draft, call to donate to ABC. We shall be talking about that in the course of this conversation. But Mr. President, this is part of the draft that you launch. I think about 2 months ago, something that many of us were very skeptical about. We didn't think it was going to be very much embraced, but Ambazonians turn out in their thousands and they embrace the draft. We have drafted from one county to the other in the space of 2 months, and we raised more than double what my trip to Boya raised. Again, some of us were opposed to this idea of draft, but the credit should be given to you for being tenacious and holding onto it. Now, the draft is over. What we are doing now with ABC, and I think the next one will be the refugees, drafting for the refugees. What we are doing now is just a minimal part of that whole plan. Ambazonians want to know how soon they should expect this draft working on ground zero. I'm sure you've heard of audios, people putting audios out there. Of course, some of them we know are not even followers of this interim government or supporters of the interim government. They're just some saboteurs out there. But I would say the overwhelming majority of people on ground zero are like asking, how soon do we start expecting money for this draft manifesting on the ground, Mr. President?
Well, our communities, if they have gained, our people who are involved in this revolution, if they have gained anything after 3+ years of executing a war, they have gained experience. Our structures have been tested, and people have been tested. Our strategies have been tested, and that calls for a lot of adjustments and decisions that will make sure that we work towards excellence. We are not ready to shoot just because the bush is shaking. Every good hunter will be looking for a target. You cannot just waste bullets because the bush is shaking. It can just be the wind. But so we are very, very serious, very, very organized. making sure that every drop of the money that has been raised will be spent correctly for the purposes that they are intended, and make sure that total ability. For transparency, we also need transparency. Transparency means many have to be involved in the process, so that it's not just a one-man show. So if you ask, you will know that it is the people's sovereign choice to make sure these things are put in place, because this is an opportunity given to us by the people of Amazonia by giving us the means. And so we are just being diligent in what we do. And I cannot make any announcement, but whatever you see that is happening, even now, the resources are not coming from the sky. This is what we are doing, because the draft money is not for everything that people think. You know, before you measure expectations, you must know the objectives. Before you do a good measurement, you must know what the objectives are. So I want to say that as far as the objectives of this project is concerned, work is already going on. As to when it will manifest to the expectation of the people, whatever the expectation may be, but I want to tell you that whatever is supposed to be the rightful expectation based on the objective of this project will be achieved. We have put everything and putting everything in place to make sure that we should hit above 80–90% in the attainment of our objective. So yeah, you can see that we are not idle, even though we are busy doing. We are pressed all around by these killers who are slaughtering our people. So a lot of work is going on, and we have chosen the path of silence, because every war is in silence. If you really want to succeed, I want to thank our county defense apparatus in different counties that are work and the DSS for what they do, and most of this is done in silence, and that's great. That's great. That's a great improvement. Yesterday it wasn't so. Everything was on social media, every video. I don't care about who makes an audio because he doesn't know what we are doing. I think that is good. That's good for governance. That's good for in leading a war like this. I don't care. All I care about is the progress that is going on the ground, and I know that the results are inevitable.
Now, there are those who say that my trip to Boya, a similar project like this one, had a lot of problems, and of course we all acknowledge that it had lots and lots of problems. But the war drafts are a little bit organized in a different way, to the effect that the counties have the counties and the LGAs have most of the responsibility when it comes to managing these finances. And people are like, is the interim government trying to run away from responsibility just in case anything happens along the way?
No. From the day we went to Berlin and adopted the county, in fact, and sealed the new strategy of our liberation struggle as a shared responsibility strategy. We put up a shared responsibility structure by a devolution of power on 3 tiers: the local government, the counties, and the central government. We made a choice that is not going to be all by the central government. Because of, in reality, that is what it is. The people who are involved in the running of in the management of this struggle are at these three levels: the local government, county, and the central level, and the central government level. And we have shared those responsibilities correctly. And I want to say, if we are where we are today is because of this strategy. Or otherwise, if it was just a one-tier approach at the level, at the center here, a lot of what has happened to us in the diaspora would have destroyed the struggle. So kudos to the various leaders at all these levels who are working. Now, one thing is that we have put the responsibility on these three tiers. We have our own responsibilities as far as the draft is concerned on this. We make sure that we provide general oversight on the use of the money and the implementation of the strategies that are agreed. Then we make sure that we make sure that there is accountability, because we provide the control mechanisms, the supervisory mechanism over the whole project. So we do that, and we make sure that the structures are ready to respond to the challenge that is in their hands. So all of us are responsible. It's nothing like nobody's escaping from responsibility, because the head is always responsible. So nobody's walking away from responsibility, but we want to be sure that if you are messing up at the level of the local government, we are not just going to let you mess up and then at the end we take the blame. We have to make sure we revise what you do on a daily basis, on a progressive basis, so that if something is going wrong, we know which is going wrong, can arrest it and make sure that responsibility lies where it lies. So we are not escaping from any responsibility. If we were, we would have continued like it were last time, after the dismal performance of my trip to Dubai. We allowed the local government to do as they could do, rest the money and decide on the projects. But this time around, it's a project that is conceived by the interim government, agreed upon by the counties and the local government, to be jointly implemented at the three levels. So we are not escaping a responsibility. Rather, we are taking greater responsibility before the people to make sure that those that they have chosen shall be held to the responsibilities that they have agreed to perform.
You put together a special committee to manage these droughts, county by county, AGA by AGA. Can you tell Ambazonians a little bit about this committee and what their terms of reference are?
Yeah, I decided to put together the Intergovernmental Oversight Committee, which is made up of all the oversight agencies of the interim government. We have the Office of the Comptroller General. We have the Directorate of Internal Controls at the Presidency. Then we have the Treasury. We have the Department of the Self-Defense and Security. We also have the Department. These are all agencies that oversee what the local government and that should oversee what the local government, the county, and the central government are. They have been working separately. I decided to bring them together and appoint a leader from the northern zone and one from the southern zone, and bring them under the PIC, the Directorate of Internal Controls. So all these agencies now work together as one. We call it
I think we may be having some technical issues there with the president's image, ladies and gentlemen. It seems to have frozen off the screen. We will do all we can to have him back. Mr. President may just have to log back and log out and log back in, and that should be taken care of. So, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for the president to log back into the set, I just want to take this opportunity to make a very, very special appeal. I said from the beginning that this August, we are celebrating the second year anniversary of your own ABC Amber Television. And we are only making progress. We are moving from stride to stride, and we hope to continue doing so. When we started ABC from London. It operated from London for a number of months. Then because of some technical issues, we took it to the USA, ran the USA in one bedroom in my home for over a year. And then recently we have taken it out. Now we have a full professional studio from which we operate ABC. In the coming days, you will be able to see our new setup, our new studios, the new studios A and B set. And you would realize that we are doing so much here at ABC. We do not just want ABC to serve this revolution alone. We want ABC to serve all of Africa by God's grace. And so we come to you especially today to appeal to you to support ABC. We have phone lines which are right now open. We want you to call those phone lines that you see scrolling or crawling on the bottom of your screen. There are people waiting behind the phones in London, in Europe, in the USA, in Canada to take your calls. But if you don't need to make a call, all we require of you to do is to go to the website ABC Amber TV, abcambertv.org to register there, to draft or to donate, for ABC. Again, the website is ABC Amber TV, abcambertv.org. When you get there, you will see on top, on the menu bar, you will see on the menu bar a donation button. A donation button that you can hit, and it will take you to the page where you can make your one-time draft or one-time donation. And when you make that one-time draft or one-time donation, please, you can send it to us. Send it to us, and we will announce your draft or your donation right here, live. The number you want to send your receipt to is, I'm sorry we didn't get it typed down, but the number you want to send your donation to is +1 603 682 2687. That is the number you want to send your donation slip to by way of WhatsApp only. Now you have other phone numbers on your screen. You have the numbers for UK, you have the numbers for the USA, you have the numbers for Canada, you have the numbers for Europe, and you also have the website. While the program goes on, we will have this information crawling on the bottom of your screen. So please go ahead, call these phone numbers, make a draft, make a donation for ABC, and we would like to mention your name right here in this during this broadcast as being one of those who have drafted today, Monday, August the 24th, for ABC Amber Television. I guess the president is back with me. Mr. President, unfortunately those things happen where the connection goes off. We are back, however. We are back, and we'd like to go back. Let me ask you this other question. Why the draft has all been good news to Ambazonia, bad news to La République du Cameroon. There are those who call the Pharisees, far to see, and the Sadducees, sad to see. When you are making progress, they are sad to see progress. They are far to see progress. Tell us. There have been people saying, oh, this money that Sako say is raising out there is virtual money. It is not really there. Is this real money or just virtual money that you have raised in the draft, Mr. President? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. President. There is, I think you are muted. I think your audio is muted. You are all set now, sir.
Okay. Anyone who says this is audio money is clearly telling you that he has not participated in it, and he doesn't think others have participated. He has not paid. He's not part of this. Because if he were part of this, then I would have asked that person, so what you contributed, was it audio or it was real? So they have not contributed. So understandably, there are some of those naysayers who said we cannot raise money again. So they are surprised. They are living like from another world. They are touching their bodies if they are alive or they are dreaming. So their first natural reaction is denial, that this is not happening. No, we want to believe that it did not happen. No, it is happening. Yes, it is happening. And the same are the people who say, we have to do something. Why are we not doing something? And some say, we have to share this money with others. No, but you don't share audios with people except on WhatsApp. So the truth is that those are the voices of distractors, and there will be many. And if that's all they can talk about, is because they have nothing else to talk about. So that's not important. It's not important. So we are not strategizing with sound bites. We are strategizing with substance. So I want to assure the Ambazonians that it has to do with substance. And then the other thing I want to announce to us is that the draft is not a one-time thing. It is a long-term commitment, not just to do it now, but to continue to do it until we get to there. We have drafted. We are going to redeem every amount of money we have committed for the struggle within this time frame, and we are going to have another one next year. We are going to continue to draft. This is the strongest message we are giving to our detractors, we are giving to the enemy, and we are giving to the international community, that we have risen, and not just risen to talk, but we have risen to act. We have reason to fight, and we are ready to do so until the final victory comes. So it is not audio, it is real money, and that's why they expect results from us. Who would expect results from us when we are dealing with audio? But I think there are other fundraisers that have existed by other people. I think those are the real audio money, because they just died the way they were announced, and we did not hear about them. Those are the audio money, not this one.
All right. I guess you may be right. Until we know what they actually raise and what they are doing with it, can we even call it money? But talking about, still talking about the draft, ABC is starting its own draft today, which will culminate on Sunday at the weekend. ABC has been an integral part, nobody cannot underscore what the role that ABC has played in this struggle, and which is why a whole week has been put aside to raise funds for ABC. Mr. President, tell us what you hear and what you know and the power of the media in a struggle, in a revolution like ours.
In a people's revolution, communication is key. If this was just a group of people who decided to use the power of terror to intimidate and force the people, then you don't need communication. You just need the power of the gun. But we all know that our revolution is a people's revolution. It is the people that make the decisions that we announce on this as a government. We are just here because we understand their pain. We hear their silent voices, and then we are their mouthpiece. So that is what this revolution is. And for this kind of revolution to succeed, we needed a voice that will articulate exactly what the people want to the world, and to all those who are ready to help us, who can help us, even to our detractors. So we needed a voice we can guard, and a voice we can protect, a voice that can be real, that will not betray us. And we thank God that the ABC is that voice. And so you have become, the ABC has become the nucleus of our struggle. No matter how much we can do in other domains, if we cannot communicate well, we will be misunderstood. We will not be seen, we will not be visible, we will not be heard, because no matter how much voice you have, if you want to address a nation, you need a microphone. You need the capacity to get to the grassroots, and ABC has become that voice, and we want to protect it. We want to make sure that we don't privatize it, like some people would love us to privatize the voice of the revolution, allowing for some rogues and infiltrators from our enemy side and our haters to buy it over through the power of money, and therefore start controlling our content and even controlling the revolution. It is our pride. We have to make sure that we pay for this. We make sure we keep the voice alive, so that we continue to speak to the world the truth that they don't want to hear. So ABC is our pride. We started it by ourselves, and we have managed to get it to where it is, and we are even we are even getting better and better, and we want to be able to keep it. We want to be able to pay it. It's our pride. It doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't look like anything that has existed before. This belongs to Ambazonia. This is Ambazonia's state corporation. Belongs to Ambazonia and will always belong to Ambazonia. So let's keep it. Let's pay the bills. Let's not weaken it by bringing in actors that will chip in money through back doors and then take over the infrastructure and start using it against the struggle.
Talking about paying the bills, we definitely will come back to that. But let's go back to one important subject before we get back to ABC, Mr. President. And I'm talking about the Swiss initiative. You've not spoken about the Swiss initiative for a very, very long time. I know we've done a lot here on ABC trying to educate people about what is going on. But I think Ambazonians would love to hear from you. Where are the Swiss talks?
No, the one big announcement I can make, which is big because of the many other voices that they will hear after mine or before mine, is that the Swiss talks are alive and well. That means the only international process put in place by the leaders of the free world to resolve our problem as an international problem is still alive. It's still alive. And we are having our talks at this level. We are having shuttle diplomacy or correspondence between the two sides, between La Republique and our side at this time. And so we are talking through proxies, the proxy of the mediator. We all saw that the mediator was in Yaoundé, the one we call the Swiss envoy. He was in Yaoundé to consult with the other side. And when he came back, he also consulted with us. So that type of shuttle communication is going on. And all is tending towards the first face-to-face, which does not depend entirely on us. It depends on the other side. If they are that willing to come to the table at any time, we are ready more than ever before to constitute to assign our team to the table, which many are desperate to know before time. We are not going to reveal that to anybody. ACT is working hard. Our team will be ready to get to that table when the hour comes. There are many people that believe that the enemy always want to bypass the people until when they cannot bypass them, then they go to them. So we don't want them to bypass the act by trying to reach only those we have assigned to be on the table. So when they indicate and the dates are agreed for the first face-to-face, then we will be ready in a matter of hours with a team that have been prepared for that face-to-face. Our belief is that it will take place before the end of this year. But if it's all dependent on us, I would say it will take place even next month. So, but because the other side they have to come to a place where they understand that peace is cheaper than war, and it is better than war, that they cannot kill their way to normalcy, that it is more expensive for them to choose the path of dreaming that they will annihilate the whole of Amazonia and then force a state of normalcy. That's a dream. They should know by now that's a lie. So, but the sooner they come to that conclusion and genuinely decide to talk with us. And let me announce this, that the sides in this conflict are defined by the conflict itself. It's not an ideological thing. The sides in every conflict are defined by the conflict. Who are those fighting? Those are the two sides. If you want to know the sides in this conflict, find out who is fighting who. Now, and that is how we shall be on that table. We are not going to be on that table because somebody believes in one funny ideology called unitary system federalism. Those are ideologues. They are always there. Some are academicians, some are activists of all kinds. They are not involved in the fight. The sides in the conflict are defined by the conflict. Who are those fighting? Those who are fighting are those who have to be on the table. I mean, the sides that are involved in the fight are those who need to talk so that they will examine the root causes of the conflict. So there are those who disagree to a point that they are fighting that need to be on the table to fight. The rest of the people, whatever they think, they are not part of what is going on. And anybody who says it's not part of the fight and does not support the fight that we are fighting has no reason and no business to do on the table of negotiating. You're negotiating with who and for who. So when that moment comes, we will be on the table. And I think I will not want to divulge anything beyond what I have said, but I want to say that it is in my optimism that the first face-to-face will take place before this year 2020 comes to an end.
Now, talking about who sits on that table, I know there have been some contention out there, basically in the public arena, as to who leaves ground zero to sit on the table. And Abdul Karim was, put out a post the other day saying there are only two parties to these talks: the independentists and the unionists. So we find a situation where those who call themselves federalists may neither belong here nor there. What is ARC? What is ARC thinking of federalists? Do they belong to this side, or where do you situate them when it comes to these talks?
Anybody who is talking federalism is just an active intellectual. He is concerned about the debate about the form of a government, which means he accepts the state as it is. Before you talk about the form of government, you must first of all talk about the form of government within a state structure. So it means that they accept it as it is now. So all they are concerned about is the form of government. So they actually belong to the side of La Republic in this conflict, because they are ready to beat us down to make sure we stop the fight so that their debate can fly, the form of government. Anybody who calls himself a federalist has no business in this conflict. He's not in this conflict. He is not in this conflict. And so you cannot be part of the solution of what you are not involved in. If they have to be on any side, they have to join La Republic, because La Republic tolerates a debate on the form of state. Because debating of the form of state does not mean you even succeed in your opinion. So they tolerate it. I hear it on their television screens. So those who are talking of a federation, they are actually dwelling on the form of state. And anyone who is at this point of Southern Cameroon origin that is talking about the form as federalism, that person is ready to accept decentralization. I've heard some of them transition so fast, and they tell you that the decentralization, special status is a kind of federalism. So they will accept anything. So that's where they belong. They don't belong to this side of the conflict. They are not Amazonians.
You did not make any statement in view of the so-called, as they put it themselves, pre-talks between Sisiko's team and Eko representing La République du Cameroun, where they came out with some preconditions for a negotiated settlement. Ambazonians would like to know what you thought about that meeting and what came out of it.
To the best of my knowledge, in a state of conflict like this, pre-talks are never direct talks. Pre-talks are mediated, because the two sides don't trust themselves. I don't trust them, they don't trust me. If I call them in my room, they will not come. So how do you sit with them and call that pre-talks? It means you're already talking to them. Pre-talks in a state of conflict, it is a mediator that comes and shuttles between the two. A trusted mediator elected by both sides to be a mediator. In this case, it's Switzerland. Switzerland is talking, the mediator is talking to the Republic and is talking to us. Because that's how it has to be. Then we move from there. That's where the real pre-talks have already taken place. So this thing that happened in Yaoundé is no pre-talks. It was an attempt to circumvent the real pre-talks that have taken place. That the next thing we should be expecting is the direct talks. It was an attempt to circumvent that so that they will say the talks are already going on the direct talks. It is direct talks when both sides can sit together and talk. How do you call that pre-talks? No. The pre-talks, it means that, and you said the talks must be mediated talks. But you are already talking. The mediator does what again? What does the mediator do again when the two sides are talking face to face on the table? So that's why not talk. There was an attempt to circumvent the real talks. So that's why I don't even mention it's a non-event. It's a non-event because that's not talk. It failed before it started because there's supposed to be pre-talks, and pre-talks have already taken place. La Republic already knows clearly from our camp what we want and where we want the talks to take place, and that we have elected to that Swiss will be the platform. We have chosen. We have agreed to meet in Switzerland. The pre-talks that's what we call pre-talks. We have already had exchanges, but through the mediators. That's how it is done. So right now, the only thing that's remaining for La Republic to come and meet us at the table, because we are already in La Republic. Somebody reminded me that, Mr. President, there's a group of people who want to come from Yaoundé to come and see you so that they can talk with the IG. I laughed. I told them that I told the person to inform the person that the act already elected their office in Switzerland. So as of now, the IG is in Switzerland. We are only waiting for them. So how do you go to look for the living among the dead? The IG is not, as far as the talks are concerned, we are not in the United States. We are in Switzerland. If this is an indication that they are ready to talk, then let them take the next available flight, inform us that their team is coming, and fix the date. They will meet us in Switzerland. We are in Switzerland. So when we have already had the pre-talks and we are ready and waiting for the talks, then somebody finds a way to go and get our brothers who are in a very compromising situation as prisoners, deceive them by taking off their anchor for a moment, put them in suits, take them to a room and tell them that the talks are taking place here. I call that pre-talks. No, that's not pre-talks. They should have been smart enough to know that these are no pre-talks. The real pre-talks supposed to have taken place. And yes, they have.
All right. What do you say to people who remain very, very skeptical? I was speaking to one of the advocates for this liberation struggle who said to me, you guys are talking about Swiss talks, Swiss talks, Swiss talks. The act is committed to the Swiss, to the HD. What is the evidence that French Cameroon is committed to HD? Does French Cameroon have a document? No, let me put it this way. Does the HD have a document from the French Cameroon to prove they are actually committed to this? I mean, this is some of the questions you find out there from people who are still a little bit skeptical about the maturity of the Swiss negotiations.
Okay, it's not good to answer a question with a question, but let me do this. Those people who say that the French Cameroon government has not made any commitment to the Swiss talks, let them show me one statement that has been issued by the French Cameroon government that's saying that they are not part of the Swiss talks. Because you should understand in diplomacy what happens. People don't even know what we are dealing with here. In diplomacy, I study even to the level of the words, the terms that are used and how they are used and who uses them. Even silence is a word, it's a message to somebody. In diplomacy, silence is an answer in diplomacy. So let somebody tell me that, okay, how can we be lying about the French Cameroon for so long and then the French Cameroon cannot make one official statement, one, to say that we don't even know why they're talking of that Swiss. We have never been part. They should have just told Gunther, Mr. Gunther, the Swiss envoy, the mediator, the chief mediator, that what brought you here? We have never been part of this thing. We are not part of this at all. They should make a statement. Then some detractors from people, among people who said they were looking for a solution. That's why they were marching from place to place, and that the international community should do something. And they are the ones who come and say, no, La Republic has not written an overt public statement that they are committed to be part of that. So this initiative is bad, is dead. If it is dead, it is simple. If we withdraw today from the system, we will make a statement. You will see my signature on that statement. We'll make it public. If it is not so, then they should have made a statement. You should rather show me a statement that they said they are not part of it. This thing is a hoax. Then I will believe you. Don't come and ask me in a delicate diplomatic issue like this one. You are asking me that I should show you. How can I even show you at this level of talks? The Republic does not talk to us. They talk to the Swiss, who talk to us. And when we talk to the Swiss are not even authorized to show them the document that we have signed and given them in confidence. They don't. They are not authorized to give them documents that we have given them in confidence, just like they are not authorized to give us documents that the Republic has given them in confidence. That is what happens at this stage. So if you want to throw the burden on me to break all the various diplomatic protocols that are in place during this time, and say, let me show you a document of what they did or did not do. No, I will challenge them. Show me a document signed by the government or the spokesperson of the Republic saying they are not part of this Swiss thing and that it is fake. Then I will answer you.
All right, Mr. President, let's talk ABC a little bit more now. ABC needs money, and one of the reasons you are here today is to look face to face, eyeball to that camera to say to all these people, I think we have about 1,000, a little over 1,000 on Facebook, and I guess millions others are watching from across the globe. ABC needs money to be the channel that many of us envisage it to be from the beginning. When we began this liberation struggle, we had a channel in South Africa and that we had to abandon to start ABC. At the time, many people did not see the wisdom in what we were doing, but I guess as of today, many people see the wisdom in what we did. Today, we are looking forward to use ABC to propelling this revolution to or struggle to another level. I'd like you to look at that camera and say to these thousands of people who are watching, tell them the reason why they need to call now to support, donate, draft for ABC. The numbers are crawling on the bottom of the screen. Mr. President, over to you.
Fellow Amazonians, I keep coming to you people because if we, God forbid, fail, you will ask me why. Instead of waiting for excuses, we come up with the strategies before time and appeal to you for support. Please, give us everything we need, and before you can ask us the questions at the end. Communication is the backbone of our revolution. Everything. The mobilization we have to do in the international community and our own community depends very much on what ABC does. You know it. So, as much as we have made contributions to our various counties and local governments to support the draft to the local government and the decentralized structures, that is for another use. It will be a mistake for us to appropriate that money to keep this very important arm of the struggle alive. We need people who can commit, not just for a one-time sacrifice, but for a continuous sacrifice. At this time, we are calling on you to step forward and identify with the ABC Amber Club, please, so that you do a continuous, you commit to give pay some money continually to keep this voice alive. At this point, we want to upgrade, and we are actually in the middle of upgrading right now. You will be proud of this voice of yours, the ABC, even more than you are now. So let's go the extra mile and make the sacrifices. Let ABC be able to run in a manner that we don't rely on the local governments and the counties, nor the central government, for what we need to pay our bills and keep the machinery of our communication and propaganda alive. So this is part of the war. Part of the warfare is to control the narratives, control the information and its flow. We don't have the power of censorship to tell everybody to shut up, but we have the power to be heard, to be allowed, to be loud enough to be heard, so that the voice of Confucianists will not prevail. So if you love this revolution, you want us to continue to control the narrative, you want us to be heard always, even on ground zero, and you want to see the good things and even the upgrade and what is going to look like for our people, for our nation, for our image, please make sure you draft, pay a reasonable amount of money as your draft today, and commit, above all, commit to be a member of the ABC Club. The ABC Club is like the local government of this in charge of this ABC. So if they are the you become like the managers of this television. So join the managers from where we have the directors, so that we can manage this in a way that it doesn't become a distraction. If we hear that we use resources meant for the fight on the ground for this television, you will say why. So please make that extra sacrifice, and let's make ABC great, even greater than it is right now. Appreciate your sacrifices.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope that Ambazonians will hit the call right now. Go to your phones. Go to your phones and call the numbers. Call the numbers you find on your screen. Let me see, I can get those numbers back on the full screen. We want Ambazonians to please get to your phones. Get to your phones. You have the numbers on your screen. You have the numbers for Europe, the UK. You got 4 numbers there. You got numbers for the USA, about 5 numbers there. You have 1 for Canada. You have 2 for Europe. Now, you don't need to call these numbers, ladies and gentlemen. If you are able to just log on to abcambertv.org, if you are able to just log on to abcambertv.org, all you need to do is click on the donation button on the website. Click on the donation button on the website and draft or make your one-time donation for ABC. And once you have made the draft or the donation, please bring us the receipt, if possible, during this live cast, and I will be able to announce your donation to the thousands who are watching. For those of you who are calling these numbers, if you cannot use the computer, please call these numbers right now. If you are in the UK, call the UK numbers. You are in Europe, anywhere in Europe, Germany, Belgium and stuff, call the European numbers. If you are anywhere in the USA, call the USA numbers. If you are in Canada, call the Canadian number to make your donation. Again, these numbers, people are sitting on these numbers right now to help you make your donations, make your draft. And I want to hope that, please, you will all call those numbers to draft for ABC Amber Television. Ladies and gentlemen, this revolution has operated 100% for the past 4 years on volunteers. It has operated 100% for the past 4 years with the services of volunteers. But unfortunately, TV isn't one of those things you run with volunteers. Of course, you still need volunteers, but the expertise that you need for TV would not be given us by volunteers. That is why we need to recruit for ABC to give it the kind of programming, to give it the kind of quality, the kind of animations that you see with other TV stations. And so in order to do this, we are appealing to you. There are some of you out there who can write a check today for $1,000. Some of you can do it. And if you are in the USA and you want to write a check for $1,000, $2,000, even $10,000 for ABC, I'd like you to know your donation will be tax deductible. Your donation will be tax deductible. So please, I call upon you once more, get on the phone. Get on the phones. If you cannot use your, if you are not good on computer, get on those phones. Call any of those numbers, depending where you are, and make your donation. Somebody is sitting behind those phones right now, to help you make your donation from the computer. And why not also join the Amber ABC Club? Let me review this to you, ladies and gentlemen. ABC is still here because of some 400 generous Ambazonians who enrolled, and on a monthly basis they are putting in a minimum of $10 every month to go towards the bills, the satellite bills of ABC. We look forward to recruiting many more of you during this week to become members of that club, ABC Amber Club, so that going forward again we can pay the bills without struggling. So please call the numbers you find on your screen. I will go back to the president to talk with us more about ABC. Mr. President, I know you just mentioned this a few minutes ago. The problem we had with the other channel that we started with was, at the end of the day, many of us did not know, not even me and not even you. We were not able to ascertain that that channel belonged to Ambazonians. Does ABC, can you vouch to Ambazonians? ABC belongs to Ambazonia, Mr. President.
Yes, ABC, thank you, Secretary Chris. ABC is 100% Ambazonian. In other words, it belongs to the Ambazonian people. There is nobody who owns it and who will ever own it. As we get to Boya, it is our first parastatal, our first wholly 100% government-owned company is the ABC. This is the difference that we have in ABC. At the level, at the stage that we are now in the revolution, considering that we have not gotten our legal papers of statehood from the United Nations and so on, the way we are constituted to operate in wherever we are in the world, some individuals will have to register an organization, right? And we'll call it Ambazonia and declare its objective to be for Ambazonia. Some individual has to use his personal identification and carry out some actions and say it's on behalf of Ambazonia. So that we understand. But this is what we have done in ABC that many have not done. I may not do, because we ask the hard questions. When individuals do anything on behalf of the people of Amazonia, they must sign a document waiving their ownership of that entity, so that they will not come back tomorrow and say, don't you see my identity card in that? It belongs to me. And legally speaking, it will belong to him. So we made sure that those individuals who, for legal convenience, were able to put their names for this organization to be duly registered by the laws of this country, also at the same time took a legal undertaking and a memorandum of understanding duly signed and binding, that they relinquish the ownership, that they are just incorporators and not owners. So legal experts put all that in place. So ABC belongs to the Amazonian people. That's what they say. I want that disclaimer or waiver say that they are not owners of the ABC. The ABC belongs to the people of Amazonia and whosoever they will elect as leaders. So that is what I wanted to see from the beginning when the other television I made in place was those are the hard questions I asked from the beginning. Can I get these documents? Before you tell me you want to sell something, can I see the ownership certificate? And so that if I can see the ownership certificate, I will now know who owns it, and if we can buy it, maybe it is owned by somebody else and want to sell it because we can buy it. Then you cannot buy something without seeing the certificate of ownership. And that certificate of ownership is rightfully the document that transfers the ownership perpetually to the people of Amazonia as constituted by the institutions of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. That is what we have in the ABC. There is no hidden owner of the ABC, and it is owned by the people. If Secretary Chris is not here today in that office, I am not here today in this office, the people of Amazonia own ABC, and whoever will be in this office and that office will be in charge of Amazonia. We don't have any legal means of owning what we have helped to create for the people of Amazonia, because we have taken all the legal dispositions. This is what we have to do with it everywhere. Even when people do things, they say they are doing it on behalf of Amazonia, we should make sure that they have no way of laying claims of ownership thereafter. As we saw, we have seen this movie played before. People did it and said, we're doing it for Amazonia. Tomorrow, somebody comes posting and say, I am the owner of this. And legally speaking, it's true. It is not so. We have taken care of that. We have learned by the mistakes of others in this case. And ABC is none of that. So if you're investing in ABC, you're investing in what you're going to see in Boya. When we get to Boya, you will still see the ABC. And all that we have done will just be history. It will not belong to anybody. It will not belong to any group of people. It belongs entirely to the people of Amazonia.
Absolutely correct, Mr. President. Nobody owns, no one individual owns ABC. I have heard gossips here and there. Oh, that is owned by Chris Ano. Chris Ano runs it and he owns it. No, that is quite far from the truth, ladies and gentlemen. As the president just stated, of course, my name is there in the registration, because in this country, when you are starting something, somebody has to sign the papers. And it just happened that I am one of those names on that piece of paper. But the good thing is everybody, unlike in the previous case with the previous channel, everybody in this interim government knows who signed those papers and knows I mean, they know who signed the papers and they know who owns it, because what we did after the registration was to get the same people who signed to register that document to sign a memorandum of understanding that says ABC belongs to the people of Ambazonia, to avoid a situation where tomorrow, because their names are on the document, they come out and say, look at my name. We register it. We own it. So we made them to sign a memorandum of understanding that says ABC actually belongs to the people of Ambazonia and not to the 4 people that by law were required to sign the registration. So clearly that is what ABC is. It is for the people of Ambazonia. It shall be the first corporation, public company of Ambazonia once we are in Boya. And I think it shall be a thing of pride to see the studios and the towers of ABC towering in the skies of Boya once we are there. And so also ABC is now an official not-for-profit organization. Many people have asked, what does that really mean with the 501c? What does it really mean? It means that ABC is not operated as a business. In the USA, businesses pay tax. They pay taxes. But non-profits are not by law supposed to pay taxes. But also more important is the fact that those who support ABC, those who donate substantial amounts to ABC, can get that amount deducted when they file their taxes at the end of the year. And so I really want to encourage, maybe Mr. President, I should talk to you, because there are very many business people out there, Ambazonians out there who are in business, who may want to seize on this opportunity to support ABC with their donations, because at the end of the day, we will give them the receipt to be able to deduct that from their taxes. Can you talk a little more on that, please?
Yes. Thank you, Secretary Chris. Thank you for that useful addition. We are a 501c3, a section 501c3 under the IRS, Internal Revenue Service in the United States. That's a non-for-profit status that have been granted to the ABC in the United States. If you are anywhere in the 50 states of the United States, your donations to the ABC are tax deductible. So if you make your donations, we have good records. We'll make sure that at the end of the year, before January 31st, we'll give you a summary of all your donations so that you can include that in your tax declarations. And depending on how much you have given, it is deductible from your from your taxes. It's a plus on your tax returns. It's considered a community, a service to the community of people. And so this is a great advantage that we have. Some businessmen listening to me now, you may not even be an Ambazonian. You may just be an Africanist, a Pan-Africanist. You may just be somebody that sympathizes with our plight, who want the world to know and the world to hear. And you want to donate something that is in the domain of non-profit to help us. Please make a decision this day. Donate to ABC. If you are a businessman, you know, business taxation is this way. This is the way taxation is in categories. They tax people in categories. Some people pay taxes, they will tell you from 50K a year to 70K a year, this is your tax rate. From 100K to 200K in your business, this is the tax rate. If you make a profit of 500,000 to 1 million, this is your tax range. So that when you make donations, they can help you because they are tax deductible. They can help you. They can take you from one range to the other range. They can reduce you from one range to the other and reduce your taxes. This is fair game. This is not illegal. So support the cause that you want to support in life. The state government of the United States is encouraging you to give your support to those things that you care for humanity, for the truth, for people, for lives to be saved. Give to ABC, and your tax expert will help you to understand that with this kind of donation that you make, it will help your company too, because in the declaration of your taxes, it will help you. It will help reduce your taxes. So please consider giving to this cause, not just to others. We are having about 8 million people in danger of extinction. Genocide is actively going on. If you want to stop this genocide, you can decide to make a sizable donation to this communication apparatus that is there to make this conflict visible to the world and fight in its own way so that advocacy groups can also hear us and take this message message out there for those the powers that be in the world to intervene. So this will be a great service you are doing to humanity by giving to ABC. It will also be economically good for you because it will help your company as you do so. All the businessmen, all the pharmacists, all the clinic owners, all the Africanists, the Pan-Africanists, all those sympathizers that we have, especially the business community, please, this is an advantage to help us remain within the legal framework of the United States and make sure that your money is also counted for your tax deductions. So please, we are very organized. We have the accounting systems in place. We'll give you every receipt, every summary you need at the end of the year to file your taxes.
All right. Yes, Mr. President, thanks for that. I would like to say that while Mr. President was speaking, I had a donation of $1,000. A donation of $1,000 came in from Europe, precisely Germany. A donation of $1,000 came in from a comrade sister in Germany. So please, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching, I want to put out a challenge. I have no doubt that out there are some of you who can pick up this $1,000 challenge. You don't have to pay it right away, but you can call this number you find on your screen and make a $1,000 pledge, a $1,000 pledge that you should be able to fulfill between today and Sunday. Please let us honor the president and make him leave this set going home with a smile on his face that his people, they honored him. So please, if you can make that donation to ABC, those are the only phone calls I am accepting phone calls only from Ambazonians or from people, supporters who want to say, I have $1,000 to donate for ABC between today, Monday, and Friday and Sunday, the 30th. Mr. President, you have anything to add to this, please?
No, I will appreciate and give a wave to that any of those individuals who can call in right now, who are watching and will be listening to us, and you are able to make that $1,000. If you are in the United States, that's even good because it's even going to be tax deductible. I will personally appreciate you right here, hearing you talk and make that donation or make that emergency pledge. So thank you. I'm waiting for you wherever you are.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you have the phone number. You have the phone number right there on your screen. It doesn't matter where you are. You can still donate to ABC either by way of PayPal, by way of Cash App, by way of Zelle, by way of Canada has something called is it Interact or something like that? I think it's called Interact in Canada. We have all those avenues that you can use to pledge and make your payment. But you can call us right now. You can call me right now, live in the studios with the number that you find on your screen to make your pledge. We need people who will call and say, Secretary Chris or Mr. President, I want to honor the work that you are doing with $1,000 draft for ABC, a draft that should be paid between today and Sunday. So the phone lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. But equally, for those of you who just want to call to do your regular draft, you have for the phone numbers on the screen. Also, you got the phone numbers on your screen. Call these numbers that you see on your screen to make your donation a one-time draft, a one-time donation for ABC. Again, we have numbers for the United Kingdom, we have numbers for all of Europe, we have numbers for the USA, we have also a number there for Canada, and we have the website, ABC website. All that you need to do is get on that website, hit on the donation button, and follow the promptings and make your one-time draft or donation for ABC. So again, the information is there on your screen. The information is there on your screen. Call now to draft for ABC, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you have that number. The number you find on your screen right now is the number you call in direct to the studio, to me, right here, right now, to make a one-time $1,000 donation for ABC. And you can also text through WhatsApp using that very number. So please, go ahead, make the call, make a donation, make a drive for ABC. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do that. Let's do that quickly. Show us your support. Show us your support for ABC and for the job that this president is doing. For this struggle, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'd like to thank our comrade in Germany who sent in $1,000 draft for ABC in the course of this broadcast. We're looking forward to those of you out there who will also call to make $1,000, $500 donation, between $500 and $1,000 donation or draft that can be redeemed. Between now and Sunday. The main draft is on Sunday, but we are giving opportunity to those around the world who may not be able to attend the draft on Sunday to call the numbers that we had on the screen, and even this one now, to make a donation for ABC Amber Television. ABC Amber Television. So please call that number. I'm waiting for your phone call. If you are not calling to donate, please, we will not accept any other phone calls today except phone calls from people who want to call to donate to ABC. Again, the number is there on the screen, and you have all these other numbers for those who want to call and draft. There are people sitting behind the phones, people sitting behind the phone lines to take your calls, Get this information throughout the week. We shall be bringing you this information to call and draft and donate for ABC. To call and draft and donate to ABC. Please go ahead. I'm waiting for your phone calls. I want to see the men, the challenging the women. I want to see who calls first to give ABC $500 or $1,000 today. Please, I need to see the men. I need to see the women. Let's see who takes the lead. By the way, the women took the lead a few minutes ago with a donation from Germany. It's from a sister. It's from a woman. It's from a woman. Again, she sent in $1,000 for ABC. Now you have the number on your screen. Call that number and make a donation now. Make a donation now. Before I let him go, because I know he got so much to do, I will ask him maybe one last question. Mr. President, 1st October is right by the corner. Any dreams, anything you are thinking for Ambazonians to do, especially in the diaspora?
You know, 1st October for us summarizes our cause in this struggle. It is more than a commemoration of our independence. It's the reason why we fight. And our heroes in this occasion are those who are paying the ultimate price, have chosen to put their lives on the line to defend the 1st October. So I want to call on the diaspora to do everything, work with your local government and your county and this central government to partake in all the preparatory works and activities that we have put in place for 1st October. But above all, we should win 1st October. 1st October is a victory. We have to win. You know, the 1st of October, it's a time, symbolically, when every nation celebrates its heroes and its might. We are going to make sure that we celebrate it in another way. We may not have the privileges to go around and marching as we all want to be, but we want to make land public to hear and know that this land is born by heroes and that the heroes are still in charge in Amazonia. And I call on the diaspora to make sure you redeem your pledge, every pledge that you have made towards the welfare of our struggle, every pledge you have made at the level of the county and the local government. This is the time to redeem it. This is the time for the local governments and the counties to remember our fighters and make them feel proud for the price they are paying. So let us work as one man in the diaspora and play our own part, and let these people on the ground know that we appreciate what they have done and what they are doing. This is a time that every soldier is supposed to be remembered. Every soldier must be remembered on the day of his independence. That's the day we must remember them. I want to say that this is the time for us to think about them, to make the necessary sacrifices for them, and make them who will see the 1st of October alive, still fighting, to believe even more in the cause. So that's what we want to do. It's not about us. It's about those who have paid and are paying the ultimate price. We want to recognize them. We want to make them feel and know that we appreciate them, and that if it has to go longer than this, they should be proud enough to continue the fight. So that's what we have to do in this partnership. We are only called to make our own sacrifice that cannot be compared to their own sacrifices that they are making on the ground. But that should cost us something. That is why we should never be tired, because we cannot afford to be tired, because there is somebody that cannot stop swimming, because if he does, he will drown. So that kind of person cannot afford to be tired. So we cannot be tired. This is a partnership. Let's do our best, because there are some people who are doing their best. Thank you.
All right, Mr. President, while you were talking, I got some really good news coming in from some of our people. We have a donation, a donation came in from Texas. A donation came in from Texas from a comrade by the name of John Mbaku. John Mbaku. He is donating a whopping amount, Mr. President, of $1,500.
Wow.
$1,500. Please say a word to John Baku.
Oh, Mr. Baku, Mr. John, that's your actual name. Thank you. I just want to appreciate you at this time, because of we don't give this, and I don't believe that you're giving this because you don't have use for it, or because you have too much. With this level of commitment, I'm not surprised that you have even done more to your county and your local government, or to this central government before now. But it is your sense of commitment and the willingness to sacrifice. That is what will take us across the finish line. Go and ask every champion. The final steps to the victory are not usually done out of the desire for heroism. It's just the perseverance to go through. And I want to say that is what you have done. This is an example which says that we can do more. And I appreciate you. And I'm here to challenge some others who may be in your position, and they are still counting their money and counting their fingers, counting how much they have done already. Let me say this, Mr. John, if we have done so much and we fail at this stage, our sacrifices will be forgotten. So we are at a point where we can see the light on the other side of the tunnel. The wisest among us and the most sacrificial will do their best. We'd rather deplete everything that we have and cross the finish line and get Amazonia than withhold at this time, and then we have excuses only to give why we did not cross the finish line. I appreciate you, and I'm now appreciating also others who are watching and they are looking. Probably they needed one like you to take the first step so that they can follow. I hope that they will do so. I hope that we all do so, because communication is key at this point in our struggle, more than ever before. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for those words, Mr. President. I like the audience to know I had to read those names because John allowed me to read the names. We will not be reading out every name unless you want the names read out. So please do not be worried when we read the names. We take permission to do so. If you make a donation and you do not want your names to be read, that is okay, absolutely okay. We will only read names for which we are giving permission to read. So please go ahead, call that number on your screen. Call that number on your screen, and please make a donation. I need a challenge here for Mr. Mbaku. With that $1,500, I need somebody out there, a lady or a male, who will say, I can do better. But I really want to appreciate Comrade John out there. I really appreciate your donation. That is really, really outstanding. God bless you, and may He replenish you as you work harder for more. So, Mr. President, before I will let you go because I know you got so much to do. I will still spend the next 30 minutes or so before I go, but I give you the last chance to say a word before you go. But before you do that, I got this message coming from someone on ground zero who says, hello, good evening, Secretary Chris. We are watching you and His Excellency Dr. Sako 5 on 5 in Bamenda. Tell the President we are mobilizing to celebrate the first anniversary of the special status announced in Yaoundé last year during the major national dialogue come October. Okay. So, Mr. President, please go ahead with your last word.
I enjoy the sarcasm because when you celebrate something that was dead on arrival, it means you are actually holding a funeral because it never happened, and now we want to celebrate it. So that is very, very interesting. So I think that we are actually going to do a memorial service of the death of the first special status. And that is what we will do in reverse when we celebrate 1st October. It will be a memorial, a memorial service. Yes. I cannot hear you.
Sorry, Mr. President. You know, I've forgotten why this guy is writing this message. And I recall that the special status was passed in October. Yeah. What a coincidence with our national day.
Yeah. So actually, it is going to be a memorial service of the special status, because if anything has happened, is that nothing happened. So all we're going to celebrate now is our victorious 1st October as usual, declaring the death of anything that was ever imagined to be to take place instead of the celebration of our. And they make sure they put it at this time so that it could take the oxygen, the wind from our mouths, and so that the momentum will be. They will be talking about the new change instead of our independence. So this time around, we have the one thing: there is no special status. It was dead on arrival. It was not even defined for anyone to know what it was. It died before it came out of the bag. So we are going to celebrate our own, our 1st October, our independence, our sovereignty, and make a nonsense of their nonsensical special status. I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry about that, Mr. President. Before you go, I think I got one more good news before you go. And this is coming from George. I don't want to mention the other name because I didn't ask his permission whether I should call his names. But this is coming from George. I guess this is in the Washington, D.C. area, with a donation of $1,000 for ABC.
Wow.
Say a word to George before you leave, please.
George, you want to make me like I should stay here a little more so that I see your generosity, I see your commitment, I see more of this. I know some may have even called the other lines from UK, from Europe, from the United States and Canada and give it. But thank you for what you have done in direct response to my appeal and the appeal of Secretary Chris. I personally, on behalf of Amazonia, I'm appreciating you people for always going the extra mile, for demonstrating to everyone that if they said you are tired by now, you are willing to go even further. Thank you for this sacrifice. Thank you, and thank you again. ABC will not disappoint you. You will usher, we are soon to usher the next phase of ABC, and we are proud of you. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. President, I think I've taken enough of your time. I will let you go now and take care of the country. While I still spend some, maybe another 30 minutes, because I know more money is coming in. I need to receive that money for ABC. Mr. President, you have a great day, and we'll look forward to talking very, very soon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, fellow Ambazonians, my fellow country people. As I'm leaving you with one expectation that you will continue to donate. And I will be glad to hear that 3, 4 other, 5 other people came in on this particular line to donate in the next 30 minutes as a show of your support. If you have already donated on the using the other lines, there is no problem. This is not a publicity stunt. But if you can call in at this time, so that Secretary Chris is not waiting for 30 minutes in vain, I will be highly honored. So thank you very much for your continued support. God bless the Federal Republic of Amazonia.
Okay, you have a great night, Mr. President. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. He does this only once in a while, and I thought it was a privilege to have him come on ABC to speak to the thousands of you who tune in. I will be here for a few more minutes before I leave because I know people are trying to make phone calls. I got this message, somebody asking from ground zero. Somebody asking from ground zero saying, how and where can I donate from ground zero? How and where can I donate from ground zero? I am in Bamenda. I am in Bamenda. For those of you in ground zero who would love to participate in this ABC draft, please send me private messages because you know we cannot put that information out in the public. But if you send me private messages just as this one, we will respond with how and where you can make your donations to ABC. So thank you for the question. I will respond to you after this broadcast is over. And again, those of you on ground zero who want to donate to ABC, send me private messages with the phone number you find on your screen, and I will return those messages with directives on how you can donate. So again, I have a few minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, and you have the phone number on the screen. There are some of you watching who can give ABC $1,000, $2,000 tax deductible, and we're almost at the end of the year, and many of you will be going out to do your taxes. Some of you have much more to pay the government than receive from the government. But when you make a tax deductible donations, it goes to reduce the amount you have to pay the government when you do your taxes. So you can save that money supporting ABC, donating to ABC. The phone number is there on the screen. Please call right now or send me a message. Send me a message and let me know how much you are pledging to pay for ABC between today and Sunday. Between today and Sunday. Go ahead, send me a message with the phone number you find on the screen, or call that phone number you find on the screen, and make your pledge. Make your pledge. Make your pledge. Okay. All right. All right. Somebody says, let's take steps to avoid our people being tracked when donating. I guess he is referring to our people on ground zero. Of course, we are very much aware of that, ladies and gentlemen. Please go ahead, call the phone number on your screen, make a pledge for ABC. Make a pledge for ABC. And while you do so, there is this footage that I wanted to show you today of Ghost Town in Kumba today. Take a look. This was Kumba. Kumba main market today. That was Kumba main market today. They want to know who owns the land? We own the land. We own the land. Ambazonia owns Ambazonia. So ladies and gentlemen, please, there are still close to 700 of you on Facebook, close to 200 I see on over 200 on YouTube. Please go ahead, call that phone number, call that phone number, call that phone number. Make a donation right now. Call now, because I will pick your call live. Call now, because I am here to answer your call live. Or you can text. You can text with that number, letting me know what amount you are pledging. You are pledging for ABC. Please, let's do so. All right, the images you are looking at, that was Ghost Town in Kumba. That was Kumba main market at the Commercial Avenue, I believe. Totally deserted, even when the colonial administrators went alone and unsealed the shops that they had sealed. But the traders know what they are looking for. The traders know what they want, and they choose to stay home. They choose to stay home to defend Ambazonia. And so because of that, somebody was actually asking here, do we still have lockdown in Kumba? No, lockdown in Kumba has been suspended, and we are giving everybody in Kumba a week from today to stock food, stock drinks, stock all the necessities that you need to before we declare a lockdown in Kumba, because we have to have every single shop unsealed. As of now, not every shop in Kumba has been unsealed, but every shop would have to be unsealed. That is why we are postponing the lockdown for Kumba and asking people to make preparations for the lockdown. So please, that is the answer to that question, whether there is still lockdown. No lockdown in Kumba this week until further notice. Until further notice. No lockdown in Kumba today until further notice. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I am expecting somebody out there to call this number you find on your screen to make a good donation for ABC. If you can donate $1,000, $2,000, I know some of you can. Call that number you find on your screen. Call that number you find on your screen. I think today, so far, we have one person donate $1,000 from Germany, one person $1,500 from Texas, one person $1,000 from Maryland or Washington, D.C. Please go ahead, call that number, and make a donation, make a contribution today to support ABC. In the meantime, you can also go online. You can also go online to make a donation using ABC's website. You have the information right there on your screen. Get to ABC Amber website at abcambertv.org to make your one-time draft. Make your one-time draft. Make your one-time draft for ABC. Thank you. Thank you. I started this broadcast with a special message for the chiefs and the funds of Ambazonia who want to return to Ambazonia. We have given you a message, and we hope that you get the message. Let me read this message from Ground Zero. I am on Ground Zero. How and where do I contribute on the ABC draft? I don't want to mention your name here. I see your name here. Again, I will respond to your message, sir. Barnabas, I will respond to your message after the broadcast. After the broadcast, I will respond to your message how you can do a draft or donation for ABC. And again, for all of you on Ground Zero, you want to draft or donate to ABC, just send me a message with the number you find on your screen, and I will give you directives on how to carry out with that donation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a brief break out, a very, very brief break out, and come back shortly. All right. Don't touch your remote.
Hedge against inflation 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo, tel 513-5014-177, or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com. You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo, tel 513-5014-177, or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com. You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo, tel 513-5014-177, or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we are here drafting and taking donations for ABC. I love to thank all of you who have called in with $1,000, with $1,500 from the USA, from Germany. I look forward to accepting more of your donations for those of you who are watching. Again, ABC was recently recognized as a not-for-profit 501c3 organization, and so if you are in the US, all your donations to ABC are tax deductible. So please, we urge you to please support us. Coming up in the week, during the week, we shall be unveiling the new face of ABC, the new looks of ABC to you, the new studio, how it looks like, the news desk, how it looks like, and I think you will be marveled with what you see. Those are some of the things we are doing here at ABC. So please support ABC to attain the goals that it has to. Support ABC to attain the goals that it has to. Okay. So please, in a few minutes, I will be rounding this up. We are very, very sensitive to who calls us or send us messages from Ground Zero, because I see some concerns that people are sending us messages, or who may want to call from Ground Zero, maybe infiltrators who may want to know who is collecting that money. on ground zero. No, that is not going to happen. We are very smart when it comes to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this telethon will continue tomorrow. We are going to be hosting some country and regional coordinators whose job shall be here to say to you, you need to support ABC. You need to support ABC. I want you to look at these phone numbers. Look at these phone numbers on your screen. These are the numbers you need to call. You need to call to be able to